Good morning, everyone. We have Frey over there who had to put up with me oversleeping again this morning. I only seem to ever do it when Frey's on the yard, and I've never really done it much in my life, but I've done it 3 times now in the last few months when you're here. You see, it's because I have such trust in you. Don't tell Holger, you know. Anyway, look who's going out to have a wander around this morning. So Sam was here yesterday. We gave him a little bit of a check over, and we're down to just 1 Equiox painkiller a day, and he's not been resting that leg. So although I let him sort of wander with me the other day and he wasn't that keen on going anywhere, I thought today we'll let him just wander around with Annie and see how he does. And I guess because it's uneven round here, we'll know probably within a few hours if he's looking uncomfortable on that leg and whether we need to change what we're doing with him or change his medications. Right, if I give you a close-up, this is what it looks like in a morning now, and that's before he's had the arc on. You can see there's still a bit of swelling here, and it's larger than his right hind, but it's definitely not as inflamed as it was. So hopefully those joint injections that he's had have helped. And as I've said before, he's the sort of personality that he's not going to go running round the place, or I'll be surprised if he does. So that's going to be Teddy Bear's Thursday morning with Annie. I'd been hoping that Ted and Annie were going to just stay up around the barn, but they've decided to go off-roading, as Frey says, a little bit. But I'm going to work on the basis that he'll know if he's a bit uncomfortable, and he's not run around anywhere, so they're having a nice little mooch over there. Meanwhile, I'm going to now get the little Nero, the little rainbow boy, out for his very first walk post-surgery. So here he is, actually being incredibly good and incredibly settled, given the fact that he's got nobody else in the barn with him. And for a little horse who gets a bit of separation anxiety, that's a real step forward. So I'm going to bring him out for a little bit of a pamper, and then we're going to have a 10-minute walk in the arena. He does have a habit of pouring out with his leg at the front, which is why I've moved him away from everything that we have on display over there, because he always sends it flying. So we'll have a little bit of a groom, little rainbow boy, before we go for our 10-minute walk in the arena. This is where his patience is still, you know, not where it should be for when he's being groomed, but he will get to the point where he will just stand here quietly. But he's always thinking, he's always wanting to be doing something. So even here, where he's trying to nibble on me a little bit and then lift his leg up, I just give him a bit of discipline just to remind him that that's not acceptable behaviour. Isn't it? Eh? Because although it's lovely to have them nuzzling you and you know, being in your face quite a bit, they equally need to know that there's a time and a place for that. And you know, sometimes that's where we do have to be quite firm with them. So I will give him a little tap there to say no. And using a sound as well, that always helps with him to know what he can and can't do. And personally, I put my finger up quite a lot, you know, and that's a good way of explaining to them. Come up. Okay, oh, good boy. Good. And you know, the ones that are more established know when they can start nuzzling and when they can't. But that's where it's really important that us as a team we keep reminding them of those disciplines so that when we've got visitors here, they know when they should and when they shouldn't do it. Good boy. Good boy. Because this is where it would be very easy for them to fall into that habit of knowing that they can get in somebody's face, which they, you know, that very often they do with visitors. But you have to just, as I say, keep reminding them every now and again that there are times where they need to respect your personal space. Good boy. Good. Good. Leg where it's got a little bit sticky with the elastoplast and his skin has gone a bit dry. I'm just going to give it a wash and then pop some cream on just to help soften that skin. Let's go to the arena. Let's just come in and shut the gate because we don't want you running off if you're getting a bit lively. I'd quite like to come and join us in the arena, but I'm not going to let that happen for today. As it's in the place for it. So you can see he's already a little bit lively there. You'll have noticed that with a lot of our horses, we're very relaxed. Sorry. I'm hoping that this is a good angle. We're very relaxed in the way that we are with them when we're walking them around. With the older ones, it's because they know the limitations, so they know when to take the mickey and when not to. But obviously with a young horse like Nero, he's got to learn what's the right behaviour and when to be a little bit cheeky and when not to be cheeky. Now, because he's not had any freedom for some time now, I'm going to be quite disciplined with him today as I walk him around the arena. Whereas once he knows the way we do things here and once he understands what's right and wrong, then I can be a little bit more relaxed with him. But for now, I'm hoping that if I leave the GoPro on the side here, you'll be able to see some of this walk from a distance. Hoping you're going to be able to see most of the arena. So it's going to be, it will be from a distance, but you see there, he's being cheeky. The other horses are outside the arena. It's important for me to stay calm, but be quite disciplined with him, because he will probably try and tank off with me. But that's where I'm hoping that he's going to remember the groundwork sessions that we did before all of this happened. Here, if you can hear me, I have to remain very calm, but also I have to give him a good tug on the rope. So I have to have an element of strength. So I'm just going to spend a little bit of time getting that relaxation back. Because he's excited, because he's out here. He wants to be silly. He's got to remember that regardless of what he wants, he's got to listen to me. So he's super distracted by everything right now. We're just going to spend a bit of time just standing and relaxing first. Boy. So his lips are very tightly pursed at the moment. I'm just going to put a bit of pressure on his neck there. So although he's dropped down there, he's not, I know he's not relaxed, as you can see. But this is something, this can be quite daunting for a lot of people. And, you know, in my younger days, he would have got away from me. And he still may get away from me. And it's just taking your time and being patient and relaxed, because he thought he was coming out here to have a run around. He's still a little bit distracted. Good. Boy. And I just want him to know that this is a nice relaxed situation. That's it, that's good. He's licking and chewing now. Sort my rope out. But you know, if I was standing here, like grabbing onto him and holding him and trying to restrict him, then he wouldn't release that tension. Good. Good. So we'll try and walk again. Good boy. And you'll see if he does run with me, you know, I have to pull back hard and half halt him on the halter and turn him in a circle, because otherwise as soon as he gets his body and his neck straight, he's got the advantage because he's got the strength. He can then just pull away with me. And what I'm actually going to do, because as he was quite keen walking off there, although I didn't want to do too much of it, I'm going to do the whole sending him back and bringing him forward. That's a good boy. Good. Good. So because of his hock, I don't want to send him back too much, but he needs to remember that if I wave the rope at him in front, that's his signal to get out of my space and go back. Come. Good lad. Oh. Good boy. Back. Back. Good lad. Good. 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 So now he's already going forward and going past me. So I send him back again. He's licking and chewing. And then we walk again. The second he goes past me again, I send him back. Good. You know, it's not naughtiness as such. It's just he's highly spirited, you know. Youngster. He wants to have a good run round. Good boy. And I don't mind where I walk him, as long as he's walking in a nice, polite way. And it's really important not to maintain that pressure on the rope and give them an element of freedom. But you know, he's got quite a lot going on. Got Anya and Bear on the outside of the arena. Mabel and Hannes have just come across into the round pen behind us. There's a lot for him to look at, but I don't want to make it all nice and quiet around the place, because he's got to learn to understand and tolerate these things as acceptable. Good boy. Right. 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 Good. 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 Good boy. Good. So there, I'm just shaking the rope to let him know he mustn't come towards me too fast. He has to go at the pace that I'm walking at, so nice and slow. And as soon as he crosses over that boundary, then I say, no, go back. That didn't work so well. So there, he got away from me, you know. But he's a very strong little horse with a strong mind, and I'm not embarrassed to tell you that sometimes that happens. Fortunately, he just ran one circle and came back to me. Boy. Good boy, good. Good lad. Good. Nice and slow. Nice and slow. Good boy. Good boy, and that's much better. Good boy. Too fast. So he's leaning forward there, so I'm going to send him back again. Licking and chewing. But the excitement is still there. So he steps forward and send him back again. And so sometimes if I can't move the rope in my hand quick enough, I'll put my hand out to say, you know, you're not to come past me. And as soon as I see he's getting a little bit excited, so there I did just push on his nose. So I didn't hit him, I just put my hand against his nose. I want him to stop and think about it, lick and chew, and accept that this is a nice, relaxing time. Boy. Good boy. Boy. Nice there, he's pushing past me again, so I'm going to send him back. follow me again. Good boy. Good. Good lad. Good boy. So the second he starts walking too quick, I'm just shaking the rope and reminding him of the distance he needs to keep between him and me. Good boy. Once we've established this, then we'll go back to me walking along beside him. Boy. Right. So every time I come round that bend, he gets a little bit tense and a little bit livelier, so I'm going to ask him to stop here and just switch off. Boy. Good. I've got the licking and chewing again. Boy. Up, up, back. So he didn't stop quite quick enough there, which is why I'm sending him back. Boy. There we go again. It's just him understanding what I'm expecting from him. Good lad. We want just a nice, quiet, gentle walk, don't we? Good. But often it's easier to be walking in front and to be able to wave the rope and wave your arms so that they know that they can't get past you. Because sometimes when you're at their shoulder, when they're a bit like this, they're already ahead of you. And then they can set their neck and take advantage. Of course. Okay. So as soon as I put my hand up there, he slows me walk because he knows from me walking in front of him that that's what that means. Good. So this is a lot more relaxed, but I can feel his walk getting faster now. So I just check him a little bit with the rope and then release the pressure. He's got very pursed lips again, so I can kind of feel that coming because he pursed his lips and I could feel the tension building in him. So we're going to relax again. Stop. And lick and chew. Go back. Go back. And apologies for the wind noise on this, and I'm hoping you can hear me okay. So he managed to stay relaxed for a couple of circles there, but then it just all got too much for him. It's far too exciting and he needed to explode. So here, I don't want to let him in my space, so although he wants to come over for cuddles and nuzzles, this is a time where I have to be disciplined with him, and he needs to know that he's not allowed to invade my space. So again, we're getting too far. I'm going to send him back again. Go back to walking in front of him. you know, at the moment I'm using both of my hands to wave back at him, but the more he learns, the more subtle I can become in what I'm asking. But you have to be quite obvious with those aids to start with. So again, I keep myself nice and relaxed. So there he's going in front of me a bit, so I gave him a little half halt with the halter. I can feel the tension coming again. I don't even have to look at him, but I can see in the corner of my eye his mouth is becoming pursed, and he was getting a little bit of tension there. So I just check him before he does anything silly. Good. And he's far more relaxed with me walking in front of him at the moment than he is by his side. But it will only take 1 or 2 sessions for him to begin to understand that this is what we're coming in here and doing, and he'll allow me, or he will understand that it's acceptable and it's relaxing for me to walk by his side. And I keep my eyes quite low until I'm asking him to go back, and then I might lift my head up a little bit more. Good boy. So, as I say, I'm really hoping this has come out on the camera. It might be a little bit dark, and that you've heard some of what I've said. And as you can see, you know, he's more relaxed now. We've ended on a good note. And with any luck tomorrow, he'll be a little bit more understanding of what I'm asking from him. Won't you, Trouble? Should put you back to bed. We're just walking back down to the barn now, and he's having a little chat with his travel buddy, Teddy. That's nice. Having a good sniff of each other. Right, you've got to go back to bed now, sweetheart. And then Annie's busy munching haylage, her favourite job. But you can see even coming out of the arena, he's a lot more relaxed, because he knows out here, and he knows that this is the way he has to behave. But of course he goes in the arena, and sometimes he's gone in the arena and he's been able to go and have a run round. So that's what he was hoping he was going to be able to do today. Teddy and Annie have decided to come back and join us, probably to go and steal Mabel and Hannes's haylage. Oh, Mabel's not liking Teddy Bear there. That was interesting. What's going on there? Annie, are you going to protect Teddy Bear? Hannes is getting cross with him. Lots of face pulling going on. Always interesting to watch the dynamics. Nero is too. It's getting a bit fidgety. But Mabel's going to come out for a walk as well today. Jodie's going to take her for a walk. Hannes will come out and go in the arena for a bit as well. Frey's just gone to get Ted and bring him in, and Annie's obviously had him off exploring all around the yard, and now she heard me doing feeds down here and she thinks it's acceptable to walk back here, which it's not, Annie, because the floor wouldn't hold you, sweetheart. Go on, back you go. Back you go. You're going to have to reverse now, darling. Go on. Go on. Good gal. Good gal. And this goes back to the whole training like with Nero. I just flick my fingers and wave at her and she goes back. So she knows when she has to respect the space. And we'll put the little barrier across that we have to stop her coming through. It's not your tea time yet. You chat to Nero for a bit. And then we have little Nikki Noodles in there, who's just having her feed. She's having some special time with Jodie in a minute, just to make sure that she's not feeling any the worse for her little mishap yesterday. And interestingly, talking about quidding with Nika's teeth, this is outside Nero's box, who didn't have his teeth yesterday, and that effectively is quidding. So next time Sam is here to do teeth, we'll include Nero in that and hope that he hasn't got gaps as well, because he doesn't need any more problems. So he's just tucking into his lunchtime feed, just so that we can slowly build him up. He's had a lovely time out with Annie today. He's probably been out a little bit longer than I should have let him out for. And he had a trot back down to the barn, and he's certainly not 100% sound on this leg, but he's just had his Equiox tablet tucked away in his carrot, and I've just put the arc on. I just need to press that button to make sure that it stays a solid green, and that'll just help relieve any discomfort that he's got from his little adventures this morning. He's looking very happy with life, I have to say.